Should billionaires exist? Like Jeff Bezos, his net worth surged by billions during the pandemic. Billionaires create jobs. That's my big one. Elon Musk, for example, employs over 127,000 people worldwide. Bill Gates built Microsoft, creating an entire tech ecosystem that employs millions indirectly. Look at Warren Buffett. He's donated over $50 billion to charitable cases so far and has pledged 99% of his wealth to philanthropy before he dies. Al-Walid bin Talal of Saudi Arabia. He owns over 700 cars, including multiple Rolls-Royces, Ferraris, and Lamborghinis. The man's garage is worth more than some countries' GDP. About Larry Ellison, the Oracle founder. He bought 98% of Lanai, which is a Hawaiian island, for $300 million. Let's end world hunger. It costs estimated $40 billion per year, which is less than 0.5% of combined billionaire wealth. Hey guys, here's a good one for today. Should billionaires exist? Some argue that they're the ultimate proof of capitalism's success. Innovations, job creations, visionaries. Others say their existence is a moral failure of the system. So I want to unpack some of the numbers, the psychology and ethics behind billionaires, and why their existence makes so many of you so furious. Let's be honest. A lot of that fury might just be straight up envy. When people see billionaires on yachts and flying private jets or living without ever worrying about an electric bill or car payment, it stings. It's the harsh reminder that someone out there will always have what you want. And for some people, that's unforgivable. This is Stay in the Great podcast. It's July 9th, 2025. Let's roll. So as of 2024, there are about 2,640 billionaires globally, according to Forbes. The US leads with over 700 billionaires, followed by China. Why? Because billionaires don't magically appear out of thin air. They thrive in massive countries with massive consumer markets, strong private property protections, and robust tech finance sectors. Here's a fact. The top 5 industries producing billionaires are finance and investments, technology, manufacturing, fashion and retail, and healthcare. Translation? It's the people who create scalable solutions, tech or capital systems that society uses every day. Let's be honest again, most billionaires don't inherit their wealth. That's some sort of farce. According to the 2023 Billionaire Census by WealthX, over 70% are self-made, building their wealth through business ownership, investments, and innovation. It's the same opportunity structure critics love to use when they say the rich should just pay for everything. So here's the argument against billionaires. The core argument here is that no individual can ethically earn $1 billion. Critics claim that amassing wealth at this scale requires systemic exploitation of some sort. So is it true? Oxfam reported that the richest 1% captured almost 2/3 of all new wealth created since 2020. That's nearly twice as much as the bottom 99% combined. Well, then you have someone like Jeff Bezos. His net worth surged by billions during the pandemic. Well, many of his Amazon workers were dealing with harsh conditions, limited benefits. But here's the kicker. Amazon was delivering groceries, medicines, and emergency supplies to millions stuck at home. So pick your poison. You get no Bezos and no Amazon. Or Bezos and 2-hour prime delivery so you don't eat canned beans for 6 months. Critics argue billionaires could fix the world. For example, let's end world hunger. It costs estimated $40 billion per year, which is less than 0.5% of combined billionaire wealth. Why is it their responsibility? Why not the government who spends approximately 50 billion annually just to maintain empty government buildings. How about 800,000 teaching mountain lions to walk on treadmills? And how about 1 million to create an online video game about climate change? My favorite, 3 million to get hamsters drunk and watch them fight. That's studying male aggression in rodents. So if the governments weren't too busy funding treadmill workouts for big cats, designing eco-friendly Farmville knockoffs, getting hamsters bombed, and buying $2,000 office chairs for these empty buildings, they'd have some spare change for global hunger. But no, let's blame the wealthy citizens for succeeding. Hard truth. A lot of this is jealousy. Everyone screaming abolish billionaires would shut their mouth really quick if they woke up worth $1 billion. Suddenly, socialism isn't so sexy when it's your yacht on the chopping block. So here's the case for the billionaires. Billionaires create jobs. That's my big one. Elon Musk, for example, employs over 127,000 people worldwide. Bill Gates built Microsoft, creating an entire tech ecosystem that employs millions indirectly. I've heard of Microsoft. I think most people probably use something of theirs. Billionaires also take risks that no one else will. What about SpaceX, Tesla, private sector vaccines, quantum computing? These aren't born from everybody earning the same wage. Without incentives, we'd all just clock in, clock out, and produce the bare minimum to not get fired. Motivation matters. And then there's philanthropy. The Gates Foundation has spent over $60 billion on health and education worldwide. Look at Warren Buffett. He's donated over $50 billion to charitable cases so far and has pledged 99% of his wealth to philanthropy before he dies, focusing on education, poverty alleviation, and women's health. Critics argue that this is a reputation management, or that decisions about aid shouldn't rest with unelected billionaires. Okay, fair. But let me ask, would you prefer Buffett hoard every penny, or do what he's actually doing and funnel billions back into society? I didn't think so. Let's talk about the psychological perspective here. So why do people froth at the mouth over billionaires, besides the envy that we just spoke about? I've never seen people get so riled up over success of other people. Here's some basic historical research from yours truly as to why humans evolved in small tribal groups with relatively equal resource sharing. Extreme inequality, it triggers our fairness instincts and it makes us angry. Think about it. Back in caveman days, if Grog killed a mammoth, the tribe feasted. Nobody said, hey Grog, you killed that mammoth, so now you have to give me your spear, your cave, and your wife, because it's unfair you have so much meat. No. They all just ate the mammoth together, thanked Grog for not dying, and they moved on with their lives. UC Berkeley research found that people with extreme wealth tend to show less empathy and higher entitlement. First off, okay, that's their prerogative. We don't have to like it, but let's be real. How do you study empathy objectively? It's not like you can have an MRI scan somebody's compassion. Social media also fuels the rage. Every yacht photo, private jet selfie, and Monaco dinner highlights what you don't have. But here's a truth bomb. Again, most are advertisers showing off to sell something or to motivate more people to want more with their lives so that they can come buy those yachts or rent them or whatever the case may be. The response to these pictures is up to you. Okay, here's some realities. Let's talk about tax. Some say tax them out of existence. Scandinavian countries have progressive taxes, yet they still have billionaires like IKEA's founder, Ingvar Kamprad. Sure, that was perfect pronunciation. But let's do a quick compare. Scandinavia, at least these three, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark combined, have 40 billionaires total. United States alone, as I mentioned, 700 billionaires. Scandinavian countries focus on equitable wealth distribution and strong social safety nets. Let's be honest, who drives innovation there? Is Norway producing the next Google, SpaceX, or iPhone? No. They thrive with oil wealth and the redistribution overall, but they rely on global tech. Leaders like the United States. Abolishing billionaires might satisfy moral outrage, but it risks killing high-risk innovation and job creation, period. Plus, in the US, private property is foundational. Our Constitution protects your right to earn, build, and own without government seizure just because your neighbor wants more cash. Let's talk about billionaire outliers real quick. These are the ones who fire everybody up. They're the ones that buy things that are so insane it almost sounds fake. So I'm aware. Take Prince let's see if I can do this. Al-Walid bin Talal of Saudi Arabia. He owns over 700 cars, including multiple Rolls Royces, Ferraris, and Lamborghinis. The man's garage is worth more than some countries' GDP. How about Larry Ellison, the Oracle founder? He bought 98% of Lanai, which is a Hawaiian island, for $300 million. Yep, he just bought an entire island. Because why not? Mukesh Ambani, India's richest man. His Mumbai residence, Antilia, is a 27-story skyscraper mansion with 3 helipads and a snow room, which sounds badass.
What could possibly define luxury better than a $2 billion mansion towering 174 meters above Mumbai? Antilia. This 27-story marvel combines breathtaking architecture with cutting-edge engineering. With its garage for 168 cars, 3 helipads,
that replicates snowfall in tropical Mumbai, and a staff of 600 to maintain this place. I'll get to that in a minute. Back to Bezos. Jeff owns a $500 million mega yacht. So big it needed a historic bridge in the Netherlands, temporarily dismantled in order to let it pass. The yacht has its own support yacht with a helipad as well. Do they need all that? Probably not. But here's the thing. Who are you? Who am I to tell them what to buy with their own money? Those purchases create jobs, they stimulate industries, and they inject cash into economies. The guy who built Ambani's badass snow room feeds his kids tonight because of that billionaire's absurd desire. How many jobs went into building Bezos' yacht or any other yachts? How about all the cars? You get the point. I gotta get me a snow room in the tropics. That sounds awesome. All right, let's continue on with taxes. A lot of people argue that billionaires should be taxed into oblivion. Here's what happens when governments go full Robin Hood. I'll give you an example. France's wealth tax caused an exodus of the rich. Over 42,000 millionaires left France between 2000 and 2014, the highest outflow globally by far. Billionaires and millionaires took their businesses, their jobs, and their investments elsewhere. The net result, less tax revenue, not more. Money doesn't tolerate being stolen. It's like water. It flows to where it's treated the best. If you punish success harshly enough, it simply packs up and finds a new home. That's why countries like Singapore, the United Arab Emirates, and Switzerland attract global wealth. They create environments that reward innovation and enterprise, not punish it. So here's the great truth as we wrap up. Billionaires aren't villains nor heroes. Their existence reflects capitalism's incentives, some tax loopholes, and market dynamics. The real question for many in the opposition of billionaires should be, is it possible to design systems that foster innovation without letting inequality destabilize society? But let's not pretend that envy will just disappear with a simple policy change. Humans will always find somebody richer, prettier, or smarter to resent. That's a you problem, not a billionaire problem. So should billionaires exist? That's the question for the show. Or is it the real issue, the system that creates them? So I'd like you to drop your thoughts. This is a good gray topic, which is what I'm trying to bring up. So in any of the comment sections, throw me what your thoughts are. Just even if you want to say, screw the billionaires, or you're absolutely right, billionaires boost the economy. Give me a nice like, subscribe, follow, all the things that help me grow. Share it with someone who has opinions on this, who loves billionaires, who is a billionaire, or somebody who really does hate billionaires and think strongly about it. In my opinion, everybody needs to focus on building their own life instead of chastising others for theirs. So stay thinking, stay laughing, please. Stay with me. Stay in the gray. See you next time. Love you guys.